Who's kind of good that you don't want to like? Come on. Come on, shake your heads. Give me some emotion. Sam was one of those people, hands down, one of the best players in the entire country. And we kind of went to battle a little bit. We were intentionally hitting each other all the time, pretty much. Just back and forth. Our two coaches even got kicked out of the Nationals because of it, okay? So we have had a very big history, very long history. I wasn't always a catcher. I was actually a recruited corner player, played corners my entire life, and when I started catching, Sam was somebody who I could look to and mimic. She was one of my role models because she was so good at what she did. She went on to Ohio State, set the home run record, set the walk record at Ohio State, 3-time All-American, one of, if not the best player to ever play at Ohio State. You guys get to listen to her chat today.
Well, Jen, I feel like you should have tried to mimic Harder to be like me, because I would have loved to end up looking like you. So maybe put a little more effort into that next time. I'm pretty pumped to, first of all, to be here, and also since we've been talking about how great it is that this is the first event and how the first is always the best, apparently I'm the best, because I'm going first. So now I know how important that is. So no pressure on me. I mean, Jen, wow. I'm just sitting here and I'm looking at all these players that I unsuccessfully recruited and went somewhere else. And I am just blown away by what is in this room. I'm seriously blown away. I just think that it is incredible what you have put together. And I know I wish that when I was coming through, I had something like this. I had someone to look up to like Jen. So I just think that you guys should feel incredibly lucky to be in this room. So how about one more round of applause for Jen? You know, now that I've come through a little bit and shared in struggles and shared in successes, I realize how much more I should have said thank you doing what I did. And I went to Ohio State, like Jen said, and I'm not sure how many football fans we have, but there was a legendary coach at Ohio State named Woody Hayes, and he had a saying that you win with people. And I think that is so true. I think that in anything that you accomplish, in any great moment you are a part of, there's always someone that helped you. There's always someone that helped you get there. Even sitting in this room, I promise you that there are people who helped you get here. Whether it literally be your parents that drove here, that flew here, that spent their vacation to get here, whether it be Jen who inspired you to get here. I just really encourage all of you to say thank you, at least once a day, at least once to someone. Because I promise you, right now you're living an extraordinary life. The fact that you're even here. And it's really important that you have gratitude for that. So make sure today, make sure every single day, you say thank you to someone. I just want to share a little bit about myself. When I was growing up, I grew up in San Fernando Valley, and we lived on top of a very, very large hill. And I was talking to my parents a little bit, and I was reminiscing about my childhood, and a story came to mind about Halloween, actually. And Halloween, where I grew up in my neighborhood, it was huge. Kids came from all over, every different neighborhood to come and trick or treat in my area. But no one ever came to our house because we lived on the top of a very, very large hill. And so my mom started giving away king-size candy bars. Now, right? Exactly. Now we're not talking about like, you know, you get like 3, I'm talking about like giant Butterfinger candy bars, okay? And I noticed that once she started giving those out, there were a couple kids who would trek up the hill every single year to get them. And every single year, now plenty of kids who didn't, but there are always certain kids who came every single year to get them. And it taught me a very important lesson from a very early age. And that is, if you want to get a king-size candy bar, you better be willing to walk a very long hill to get there. So I grew up in San Fernando Valley. I played on the Valley Breeze, where I learned to hit and hot wire cars. But don't worry, I got my own here today, so you guys are good. And I can tell you that before I played on that team, I played baseball for a little bit. And I want you guys to understand, I was not born naturally anything, except maybe naturally funny. But besides that, not naturally anything. And so I am playing on this team in Northridge, a very local team, and we go and we scrimmage the Valley Breeze. And we must have lost like 18-0, okay? And the whole time I'm just so taken aback, and we're getting our butts whooped. And this coach is just screaming at kids. You didn't get the bunt down, you didn't hit your hit and run exactly in the 5-6 hole, you didn't hit your cut, you didn't do all these different things. I'm like, they're beating us 18-0, right? And so we're packing up, we're leaving, and I see the Breeze sitting there, and I'm like, what are they doing? And they go and they practice afterwards. So I'm driving home, I'm like, stings me on that team, right? And little do I know, I get home, my dad's like, by the way, you have a tryout with them tomorrow. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. I'm not playing on that team. So I get there with a 4-hour practice the next day, which to me was, longer than eternity. Ends up going 6.5 hours, okay? 6.5 hours. I get home, I collapse on our couch, I'm like, I'm never going back there again. Again, my parents come in, they say, you're on the team. So to me, I want you to have an image of me. I was about 5 foot, and I was probably as wide as I was tall. There's just no chance I'm becoming a good softball player. I couldn't even make a throw to second base. It was so bad that one time in the middle of the game, I actually threw the ball to center field. I threw it to center field, and one of the parents starts clapping. And his wife looks at him, and she says, sit down, stop clapping. She's like, she made past second, that's awesome. Right? So that's where I started, okay? And so I'm on this team, and Francesca Nea is the #1 catcher, and there's 2 other catchers in front of me, and I'm the 4th catcher, right? And so now, when you play club ball, what I'm finding a lot, you're the 4th catcher on a team, you're not staying on that team. How am I gonna get seen? I'm in 3rd grade, I gotta impress everyone. I'm the #4 catcher, this is never gonna work, right? By the way, you come to College Charleston if that's what you're thinking about. I will work with you. So, I'm like, there's no way I'm making this, I'm the #4 catcher, whatever, right? And I go to my parents, this is after about 6 months of this, I'm just dying at these practices. I want you to understand, 2 8-hour practices in a weekend, like Saturday, Sunday, 8-hour practice, okay? I'm just dying, right? I go to my parents, I'm like, I can't do this anymore, I gotta quit, I can't do this. And then, at that moment, they taught me the second most important lesson of my life, which was, you cannot quit anything until you're at the top of the mountain. Because until you get to the top of the mountain, you can't see the vision. You can't see the vision from the bottom of the mountain. And they told me, they said, if you end up becoming really successful, you get to the top of the mountain, you quit anytime you want to, but until then, you can't. So I said, okay. A little against my will, I felt, but that's parenting, right? So I go back, I go to my coach, and I say, all right, I need a quicker team, so I need to become good. And Tom, being, I felt, the greatest coach in the world he didn't look at me and say, okay, I want you to come here 3 times a week for an hour. He said, any day you wanted to come to the field, I'll be there. Any day. And I learned from very on how important it is to ask for help, how important it is to find great mentors. And he did. He came there every single day with me. And I finally reached second base. So what happened was, this is going throughout the year, the 2 girls in front of me quit. They quit the team. So all of a sudden I become the second #2 catcher. No one below me, but #2. And then all of a sudden, Francesca moves teams. So I'm the #1 catcher. End up getting a scholarship to go play at Ohio State. Best 4 years of my life. Then ended up going to the Pro League. And I felt that I was at the top of the mountain at that point, and I continued to play. But for the first time in my life, I could really, really see a vision. And I think that it is so important that when you do anything, you see the vision before you make a decision. I think that's so important. So, let me look. I had one more talking point. Well, then I'm done. Right, okay. My last talking point, I promise, because I want to hear all of them. So I know you guys do too. I am not a believer, you guys, in fate. And I hope it does not offend anyone, but I'm really not. I believe that everyone can control their own destiny. When I started playing softball, I was not Jen Schroeder. Almost as good looking, but not quite. Not Jen Schroeder, okay? I was a little girl sitting in this room trying to figure out what I wanted to do. I just loved playing softball. And I was a 3-time All-American. I was an MVP of the Pro League. I'm not trying to say that to get yourself credit. I'm saying that because I want you to believe that you're in control of your own destiny. If you are willing to put the work in, if you are willing to have limitless work ethic, you can do anything you want to do. I really, really honestly believe that. It's important to find the experts. There's no way I wouldn't have been here without my experts, my parents, Tom, my coaches, mentors, like Sue, everyone else sitting at this table. But you can do anything you really want to do if your work ethic is limitless and you're willing to walk to the top of the hill for a king-size candy bar. Thank you.